Hello guys, namaste and welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, we are continuing with the side quest thing, the Prime Sentinel programming using 4 stars for legendary. And today's path will be a mix of different nodes, which will be on the top and then right. Well, I've already done this path, but just for the sake of the video, I'm going to be doing this again. And our plan will be pretty much simple and straightforward. The nodes are not that difficult. There is Footloose on the first one, and it's just about waiting a little bit after the special one, because the defender will be unstoppable and have a chance of evading your attacks. So yeah, that's all about the first fight, and I'm going to be using Guillotine 2099, and that is actually a setup for a later fight, which will be the mini boss fight, Kitty Pride to be more precise. And another annoying thing while fighting a rogue is of course that she can soak off any debuffs 80% faster. So yeah, make sure that you attack her immediately after you parry, otherwise it will expire more likely. And also the degeneration or any debuff you apply to her will be sort of purified very quickly, or rather expire very quickly. But at the same time, we are also using a beautiful synergy, which is from Mr. Fantastic with She-Hulk, which every time you apply any debuff to the defender will also inflict them with a power sting, a maximum of 3. And then whenever they use their special attack, they take the sting damage, just like here. And that makes the fight quite more convenient, especially when using only 4-star champions. And another thing to notice here is that we also have a global node, which is actually quite beneficial for female champions. So Guillotine, even though is a robot, is considered a female in the game. So yeah, and we just have to make sure that we finish the fight with a special 3, which we do right here. And it's Guillotine's ability that whenever the defender is either 5% or below 5% of health, we can use the special 3, and no matter the health, it will be a KO. And the next one is Jubilee, and the nodes are enhanced special 1 and kinetic instigator, meaning every time you hit onto her block you will gain power, which is actually beneficial for us. And yeah, also you'd want to stay quite alert of SP1s, because not only that it is doing 30% more damage plus being unblockable, but it is Jubilee's ability that if you take any debuff from her, which is inevitable if you get hit by her SP1, it will give you a massive damage when the debuff is purified or expires. So yeah, that's another headache while fighting with Jubilee. So pretty much the plan is to keep hitting on her block and maybe gaining power, but we were not using special attack because we didn't have any kinetic charges, and which you can gain by parrying. But anyway, even though the fight is a little bit on a longer side, it's quite simple and straightforward. Just have to bait her SP1s, and you may go for SP2s as well, which is actually not unblockable. But yeah, we are sticking to our heavy attacks, which do a little bit of more damage compared to the regular hits, and then we interrupt a heavy attack with a SP free, and the fight is over. So that was Jubilee for you, and then we have Dragonman, which I believe has Counterstrike, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So basically, every time you trigger this dexterity, you get a fury charge, and if by any chance you exceed 10 furies, the defender is going to be unblockable for the next 15 seconds, which can be a little bit on the detrimental side if you are fighting Dragonman, because he constantly gains power, and you have to parry to stop that, or rather stun him to stop that, and it can be quite annoying if he is unblockable. So you have to be aware of that as well. And another thing that is helping us out here is the tech synergy, and because of the leadership ability, awakened ability, he can place petrify debuffs on the defender and then mitigate the power gain, or even reverse it from time to time. So that is quite helpful on this regard. And yeah, apart from that, we are taking a little bit of chip damage here and there, which is alright. You can play a little bit safer if you want, but yeah, I will not be using him for any future fights, so it will be alright. And then also try not to trigger dexterity as much as you can, and also I would say SP2 would be a little bit better to handle, even though SP1 is quite alright to evade. Many new players, or many players who are not used to fighting Dragonman, might struggle with that SP1 sometimes, and make sure that you don't allow him to push you to the wall, because then you'll take a lingering kind of a damage, so which you would not like, of course. Alright, moving on to the mini boss fight, which is Kitty Pride. We are using all our pre-fight abilities. That's because of the spite node, because if you don't use them, you'll have an armor up buff, and that will be a pain, especially fighting against the spite node. And also we are using the pre-fights from Mr. Fantastic, so that we can handle the power gain at the start of the fight. And I'm extremely sorry that I actually forgot to show you the nodes, but I guess that's alright. You can check that maybe before fighting, which are mostly Counterstrike and Spite, and also that node, the first node, which was she becomes unstoppable and has a chance to evade after her special attacks, and also I forgot the name of the node, which gives her an armor up after 10 hits on your combo. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And the main annoyance is actually her own ability rather than the node, which is after 3 debuffs you apply to her, whether damaging or non-damaging, she reaches up to 3 prowess, and as soon as she has 3 or more prowesses, her dash attacks she becomes invisible while dashing towards you. And the simple idea is just to stay as close as possible if you happen to push her over 3 prowess charges, and then she'll be alright. Maybe the fight would not be as easy as it might look right now while I'm playing, but after a little bit of practice you must get used to that as well. So alright, so that was overall the buff, and As you can see, 4 stars can easily handle that, and we'll just have to go into the final boss fight, which is like a formality. We'll have to do this every week, twice maybe, and I'm kind of bored actually having to fight her again and again actually. Anyway, let's dive into the fight, which is, oh sorry, I forgot to show the notes again. But again, I guess it's alright, because I'm sure you have seen it quite many times already. So yeah, it's just a little bit of a slower fight because we have a 4 star, but still, as the fight goes along, She-Hulk will gain more and more attack rating because of our passive furies, and hopefully we can deal some significant damage, especially if he can manage to get a couple more passive furies, which is actually a little bit harder because her SP1 is actually locked, and we'll have to make sure that we push her to SP2 so that we can bait it and get our furies repressed. But yeah, it is what it is, right? So the idea is just to keep grinding until she perishes finally. And well, as I've told multiple times, the central idea of the fight is just to perfect your evasion on her SP2. Meaning, woo! That was sweet, isn't it? Well, what I was saying was that it's all about knowing how to evade her SP2, and if you haven't perfected it yet, I have made a whole video dedicated to that, and it is a step-by-step guide with slow motions, how to easily evade her SP2. Please go ahead and check that out as well. And well, I'll keep uploading. See you in the next one. Till then, take care and have a good day.